Hey there, it's Larry Lursey. Welcome back to the channel. In today's tutorial, we're going to be taking a quick look at layer masks and just kind of the basics of them, why you would want to use them, and how to use them. So in this example here, we've got two layers right here, and I'm going to go ahead and make these a little larger so you can see them. If you just click here on the box, do panel options, just these large thumbnails. That'll make it a little easier to see. So I've got two layers. I've got an image of the subject here on top. The second layer is the background. Now obviously we can't see that background right now because it's being covered by this layer. So the way layer masks work is allow us to see through parts of an image down to through a layer down to parts of the layer below it. Now one way of course that you could do this, a lot of people starting out will use the eraser tool. If you come over here and just hit E, you could just come through here, and you'd have to be a lot more careful than what I'm being, but you could just quite literally use the eraser and erase away the old background until we just see the new background. Now the problem with this strategy is that if you look up here at the image, those pixels are gone. We've got all this information, but all of this is gone. We have quite literally erased the pixels. And so if we decide that we messed up here on the shoulder and somewhere down the road we've done a lot of work, added a whole bunch of different layers and things to it, and all of a sudden we want to go back and change something we've done here, can't do it. We've destroyed that layer. So that is definitely not the route to go. Let's start back over again. The way you want to go is with a layer mask. And what a layer mask does is, and let's just select one right here. This is the little button to create a layer mask. So make sure we're on the subject. Click right there, and this little box will pop out here, and that tells you that you've got a layer mask set up. Right now it's all white, and when it's white, it's almost like there's nothing there. White, you cannot see through at all. Black, you can completely see through. So if we switch our brush to black and make this a little bigger, you can use the bracket keys to make the brush bigger. I can come through here and paint black on, and now I am seeing through it. If we come over here to the thumbnail, again, we can see he's all here. All this information, this background is still here. However, we have painted this part of the mask black, so now we're seeing through this part into the layer down below. Anywhere we paint black on this layer mask, we see through to the layer below. Now, one thing you have to make sure is that you've got the layer mask selected when you're doing this. You can see it's got a little box around it that tells you that the layer mask has been selected. You'll also notice it up here where it says the layer subject with a layer mask. If I click on him, it just says subject. The problem with that is if you have him selected and you paint black onto it, it literally paints black onto the subject, which we don't want. So you have to make sure you have this selected, paint black, and now suddenly we can see through to the back. If you accidentally paint over a part you don't like, you switch to white, or you can hit X, switch to white, and then you can just come back through and clean him off. And if we look here, you can see, if you watch that as I'm erasing it, it starts erasing that part as well. So again, where it's black we can see through, where it's white we can't. So to see down to that next layer, you just have to paint black onto the background. Now, one of the most difficult parts of using a mask, and really this would be the case if you were just even using the eraser tool, you've got to get a good selection. You've got to know where to stop around the edge. I'm going to delete this. And one of the really easy ways of doing that before you even create your mask is to use the quick select tool in Photoshop. I've got my subject layer here. You go up here and click W for quick selection tool. When you do that, you're going to have these two buttons appear up here, select subject and then select and mask. So you can hit this button, and as it says select subject, boom, it goes ahead, selects a subject. So many times this works perfectly. It's not foolproof, but a lot of the times it works great. Now, Doing selections is its complete course unto itself that takes a lot of practice, but we're just going to do a basic selection here just so you can understand what it is we're trying to do with the image. Once I've selected, I hit the next button, Select and Mask, and basically it shows me here again what that mask is going to look like. It's going to be black all out here, white in here, and this is basically what we want it to look like. I can actually go through here. I've got this button here selected, the Refine Edge. You can actually go through with a small brush and just kind of go along this edge a little bit, and it'll just soften it a touch and make it a little more realistic so it doesn't just look so cut out. Just like that. Make sure it's on Layer Mask, hit OK, and then right there it goes ahead, creates a layer mask based on what it's selected. The subject is all white, so the subject is still showing. The background area has all gone black, so we're seeing through to the blue. And there you go. He's now on a blue background. The beauty of this is if you decide that you want to fix the way you did the hair later, you can just switch to your brush, you know, with white or with black, and it's really easy to come through and add some of that background back or switch it to black and take even more away. And just go through and refine it until it looks exactly how you want it to look. That'll especially be handy if you notice that somehow it's selected a little part and maybe part of the coat got messed up. You can just come back onto white and clean it back up and bring that back onto the mask. So that's a basic layer mask. That's how it works. That's how you use it. And I think it's pretty clear why it's better than the eraser tool. So like most things in Photoshop, it takes a lot of practice to get good at creating masks and remembering how to use them, or remembering to use them and not just erase. Kind of got to get into that habit. I think you'll find that they are super powerful and a lot of fun to use, and I hope that helps, kind of gives you some ideas of how to do it. Give it a try and let me know if it works for you. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.